in the Zoom room right now. So, person identified as Marcy Wegler.
Yes, I thought I had a 1 o'clock for Ridgewood Oaks. Is that not today?
That is going to be in front of Judge Burnett today.
Pardon? I'm sorry.
That is in front of a different judge. That is in front of Judge Burnett. Do you need the Zoom ID information?
Oh, yes, I do. Please.
262-006-8210.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Oh. We're a little early today, so. Yeah. All right, good afternoon at the jail. What is your name?
Hoover.
You say it one more time?
Todd Hoover. Todd.
Okay. All right, this is case number 260987ST. Counsel?
Elizabeth Peterson on behalf of Mr. Hoover for the limited purpose of arraignment here today. I did have an opportunity to review the complaint and warrant with him. We would waive a formal reading of that. He understands the maximum possible penalties as well as any fines, costs, and sanctions. We'd ask that the court enter a not guilty plea on his behalf and set the matter for a pretrial. He was screened for an attorney and qualifies. And then I can address bond when the court prefers. Do you want me to do that now or in a minute?
I intend to amend it to $300 PR. It's currently set at $300 cash surety or cash, but I'll amend it to $300 PR unless you'd like to make any allocution or argument to the contrary.
No, we were going to ask for a PR bond in this matter, considering the circumstances.
All right. And one other question, if this goes to trial, do you want that to be a jury trial or a bench trial?
Jury trial, please.
All right, sir, you have been granted a court-appointed attorney. That person will be your attorney for the remainder of this case. I'm amending your bond in this case to $300 PR bond. I am going to indicate one of the conditions of your bond is no driving unless you do obtain a valid driver's license. And I also have a civil infraction here.
I did advise him of that as well, although indicated he would not have an attorney for that matter, considering it's a civil infraction.
All right, it's case number 26SD43455B. It's a charge for speeding 11 to 15 over. As a civil infraction, the maximum penalty is a fine of up to $120. In regards to that charge, sir, would you like to admit responsibility or deny responsibility today?
Not guilty.
Okay.
Deny.
And the civil infractions are either set for an informal hearing or a formal hearing. An informal hearing takes place in front of a magistrate like myself. A formal hearing takes place in front of a district court judge. Which one would you prefer?
Magistrate's fine.
Okay. I will indicate that will be set for an informal hearing then. And your attorney has provided us with an address of 1207 12th Street in Martin. Is that still a good address for you?
Yes.
All right, information regarding your upcoming hearings will be sent to you at that address and also to the public defender, so be sure to stay in contact with them. And you're all set for your arraignment, sir.
Have a seat. Come forward and be here.
Good afternoon, sir. What is your name?
Joshua Ilgenfritz.
This is case number 251707ST. Counsel?
Thank you, Elizabeth Peterson, appearing on behalf of Mr. Ilgenfritz for the limited purpose of arraignment here today. I did have an opportunity to review the complaint and penalties with him. We would waive a formal reading of that today. It's my understanding that he wishes to waive his right to.
Now, this is where the courtroom tension sharpens significantly. We see a defendant choosing to waive trial rights and enter a guilty plea after confirming key legal safeguards. No coercion, understanding of consequences, and awareness of immigration and license impacts. This is a critical legal moment because once a guilty plea is entered, the entire case shifts from debate to sentencing. What's especially important here is how methodically the judge ensures that the defendant understands every consequence, from driver's license suspension to financial penalties. And then we see the breakdown of fines and costs totaling hundreds of dollars layered with court fees and statutory charges. Now pause and think. When defendants agree this quickly, is it true acceptance of responsibility or a strategic move to minimize damage? And should courts do more to ensure defendants fully grasp long-term consequences beyond just today's sentencing? The legal system moves fast here, but the impact lasts much longer than these minutes in court.
A trial and enter a guilty plea, we are requesting that the court impose fines and costs and or time served in this matter.
All right, sir, your attorney has indicated that you wish to plead guilty today. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so I have to go over a couple of questions with you. Has anyone threatened or coerced you to plead guilty today?
No, no, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty because you believe you are in fact guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you are not a citizen of the United States, a guilty plea could affect your immigration status?
Yes.
Do you also understand that a guilty plea here today could have a further effect on your driver's license with the Secretary of State, including another suspension of that driver's license?
Yes, ma'am.
The ticket alleges that on or about May 15, 2025, on Blue Star Highway in Casco Township, Allegan County, you drove while your driver's license was suspended. On that date in that location, were you operating a motor vehicle, sir?
Yes.
And at that time, had your driver's license been suspended or revoked by the Secretary of State?
Yes.
All right, Jim, give me a factual basis to accept your plea. I will do so. I will impose fines and costs here. The fine is going to be $200, state costs of $50, statutory costs of $250, crime victims' rights fee of $75, and there is 2 bench warrant fees, it appears. That's a total of $725. I'm gonna give you 90 days to pay that, but if you need additional time, you can just call the court clerk and set up a payment plan and they'll help you set something up monthly that you can afford. Otherwise, sir, you're all set for today. You may leave the courtroom. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. What is your name?
Anthony Ott.
This is case number 261180 ST. Counsel?
Thank you. Elizabeth Peterson on behalf of Mr. Ott for the limited purpose of arraignment. We did have an opportunity to review the complaint and would waive a formal reading of that today. I'd ask the court to enter a not guilty plea on his behalf and set the matter for a pretrial. He was evaluated for a court-appointed attorney and does qualify. We are asking for a PR bond in this matter.
And Ms. Peterson, if this is set for trial, would you want that to be a jury trial or a bench trial?
Jury trial, please.
All right, sir, you have been granted a court-appointed attorney, and that person will be your attorney for the remainder of this case. Doesn't look like a bond has been set in this case yet. So I will go ahead and set one at $300 personal cognizances. And one of the conditions of your bond is going to be no driving unless you obtain a valid driver's license. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Your attorney has provided us with an address of 418 Garfield Street, apartment 104 at Otsego. Is that still a good address for you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, information regarding our upcoming hearings will be sent to you at that address and also to the public defender. So be sure to stay in contact with them. You're all set for today, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. afternoon. What is your name?
Bradley Snyder.
This is case number 261389 FT. Counsel?
Thank you, Elizabeth Peterson, appearing on behalf of Mr. Snyder for the limited purpose of arraignment here today. Did have an opportunity to review the complaint and penalties with Mr. Snyder. We would waive a formal reading of that today. We're asking that the court enter a not guilty plea on his behalf and set the matter for probable cause conference and preliminary examination. He was screened for an attorney and qualifies. With regards to bond in this matter, there is not an amount he can post at this time as he is currently unemployed. However, he does live locally, has never failed to appear, and the only prior offense he has, he was successfully discharged from probation, and he's established that he can follow court orders and follow through. So we're asking that the court consider a PR bond in this matter.
As this courtroom session comes to a close, we see a consistent pattern across multiple defendants. PR bonds being considered or granted, conditions being imposed such as no driving without valid licenses, and strict instructions to maintain contact with public defenders. Even in more serious allegations, the court weighs history, risk level, and community safety before making bond decisions. In one case, we even see heightened restrictions like no unsupervised contact with minors, showing how carefully tailored judicial conditions can become depending on the charge. Across the board, the judge balances legal procedure with public safety while ensuring each defendant understands their obligations moving forward. So here's the bigger picture. How much trust should courts place in personal history versus the severity of current charges when setting bond conditions? If you found this case as intense and eye-opening as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.
I do have some concerns given the nature of the charge, trying to flee from the police going 76 miles per hour in a 25-mile-per-hour zone. But given the lack of the defendant's history, the fact that this isn't an assaultive crime and that you do have a local address, I will go ahead and amend this to PR bond, currently set at $1,500 cash surety. I'll amend that to $1,500 PR. Your attorney has provided us with an address of 2719 Nelson Lane in Allegan. Is that still a good address for you?
Yes.
All right, information regarding your upcoming hearings we sent to that address and also to the public defender, so be sure to keep in contact with them. You're all set for today, sir. Good afternoon at the jail. What is your name?
Zachary Stetson.
This is case number 253799FY. Counsel?
Thank you, Your Honor. With regards to this file, I did have an opportunity to review the matter with Mr. Stetson. I'm appearing on behalf of him today for the limited purpose of arraignment. He does understand the complaint as well as the possible penalties, and we'd waive a formal reading of that today. I'd also ask that the court enter a not guilty plea on his behalf and set the matter for probable cause conference and preliminary examination. He was screened for an attorney and qualifies. It's my understanding that he does have some family members in the area and needs to make a few phone calls with regards to bond. However, he's never failed to appear for court previously. These appear to be allegations from 2017. He does have a place to stay in the Grand Haven area. It would not be leaving the state, and he doesn't have any violent history that I'm aware of. So I would ask that the court consider a lower bond in this matter.
All right, given the nature of the charge and the victim being of the age that the victim was, I'm not inclined to do a PR bond, but I will lower bonds. I'll do a $2,500 cash surety. I am going to put a condition on your bond, though, if you are able to post it, no unsupervised contact with anyone under the age of 18.
Okay.
And sir, if I don't remember if I told you, but you haven't granted a court-appointed attorney. That person will be your attorney for the remainder of this case. And do you have an email address or anywhere that we can send your notices of hearing?
Yeah, my father's phone number or email.
Okay,
I'll
can you
do-
tell us that email address? Or do you not have it yet?
I don't have it yet.
Okay.
I'll get it.
Okay, and once you make those phone calls, please relay that information to your attorney so your attorney can relay that information to the court so that we can make sure that you get your notices of hearing. But all of that will also be sent to the public defender's office since you're being represented by them, so they'll have a copy of it as well. So be sure to keep in contact with them. But you're all set for your arraignment today, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Peterson, the other two females are here now too, so I don't know if you want to call them for their interview or just go into a breakout room or whatever you guys decide.
What's easiest for the court? Are those the only ones left?
We can just log off. We can just like basically put you guys both back in the waiting room, have you guys make the phone call so we can't hear it, and then just let us know when you're ready and we can come back.
All right, we'll do.
Okay, thanks. I don't know what to expect, how long it's gonna take.